For the next 2 months, we'll attempt to cross the entire length of Russia via the Trans-Siberian Railway, which currently holds the record of being the longest railway system in the world, stretching 9,288 kilometers, which is more than twice the width of Australia. As some of you might know, Russia is the biggest country in the world, and also one of the most culturally diverse countries with over 190 plus ethnicity groups. So that's why in this series, we're gonna explore multiple cities, experience local culture to see how different it is in all the cities of Russia, starting from Vladivostok all the way to Moscow. And in this episode, we've made it to the far east of Russia in a city named Vladivostok. So join us as we spend a day in this Asian influenced city to see what life is like in Russia after sanctioned. So we're starting this episode in Vladivostok, which is the capital of the Far East. And let me just quickly catch you up on how we got here in the first place. So after our China series ended, we actually flew from Shanghai 3 hours red-eye flight early morning at 3 a.m. all the way to Vladivostok. And when we arrived at the airport, quite shockingly, we saw some North Koreans just roaming around in the airport, which is apparently there are lots of North Koreans at the moment here in Russia, which is quite surprising. And then after that, we took a vintage express train from airport to the city. It costed around $4 per person, and we arrived in the main town.
So nice weather, lovely. 20 degrees, perfect.
Where we check into our hostel. And if you guys have seen our other videos in the past, you know that we usually don't stay in hostels just because we like our own privacy. But this time around, we stay in hostels because apparently the accommodation prices here in Vladivostok is quite expensive. It's averaging around $50 per day. So that's why we're staying in a hostel this time. And surprisingly, capsules here, they actually have these couple capsules where Alina and I can both fit into the same capsule. And the design of the hostel itself is actually quite trendy with lots of really cool graffitis. And the most important point is that the hostel is clean. And after that, we got some rest at the hostel yesterday. And today, we are ready to explore Vladivostok and show you what it's like here in Russia. Let's go.
And now we haven't eaten breakfast yet this morning, so that's why we're gonna go to eat something in this cafe. It's called Cafe Не рыдай, means don't cry. And the reason why we go there is just because, you know, in Russia we used to eat in like this buffet contained style just because it's cheaper and food there is like a home style food. But this one is actually also in a retro vintage design that looks super cool. That's why my friend recommend to go there.
I feel like because I grew up in Asia, I'm not very used to seeing this kind of architecture style. It's like very European. It feels like I've teleported into Europe right now. And it's funny because Vladivostok, they call it the capital of the Far East. Actually, Far East is an actual region named the Far East, not just because it's far in the east, but it's actually called Far East. When you think about the east, right, usually you think about Japan, Korea, China, but this city is actually further than Korea and China in the east side, which is quite surprising, but it feels like we're in Europe. And because, as you know, Russia, it's such a huge country, the culture itself is very diverse, and it's actually Alina's first time in this city as well.
To be honest, I feel a bit nervous because I used to live last 5-6 years in Asia, and this time I need to be in Russia and talk to camera and talk in English, so... Yeah.
It's your turn to translate now. In China, I translate the whole way. Hey guys, so real quick before we continue this video, I just want to share a quick travel hack that we found before traveling to Russia. So on this trip to Russia, we actually have plans at some point in Trans-Siberian route. We want to take a car, rent a car to drive somewhere remote because there are some very beautiful remote places here in Russia and you can only get there by car. So we actually start looking at what are the rules for driving in Russia, what kind of documents you need. And one thing I'm sure that you already know that requires in most countries when you drive is the International Driving Permit, which brings us to the sponsor of this video, the International Drivers Association. You can use this permit in over 150 plus countries. Like last time in Turkey, we drive along the Turkish Riviera, and in Georgia, we drive around the wine region as well. So it just gives you the peace of mind when you're driving overseas. You don't run into troubles or any fines. And the best thing about this is that the whole process only takes around 8 minutes. It's so straightforward. So all you have to do is fill in the details, upload a photo, and then you make the payment. Then your digital permit is done. The permit itself comes with translation with over 12 languages, so it makes it very easy and readable for authorities or maybe rental companies when they're reading the document. You can also choose a permit that is valid for up to 3 years, so making it very easy. Instead of renewing 1 year by 1 year, you can get it for 3 years, so it's perfect for long-term travelers and frequent travelers like ourselves. And if you're anything like me who tends to forget things or lose things, don't worry, if your driver's permit gets loose or damaged, you can actually ask for a replacement for free. So if you're planning a trip overseas and you consider to get a car or motorbike, you can use our code Justin and Alina 10 at checkout to get 10% 10% off your international driver's permit. And if you guys are in Vladivostok right away, you'll notice a lot of different Japanese cars right away. So Toyota, there's Mazda, Toyota, Subaru, Toyota again. So usually in Russia, the cars are supposed to be left-handed. But here in Vladivostok, every single car is right-handed. Apparently the government is actually trying to ban right-handed car imported from Japan just because there are so many. The reason why they love Japanese cars, first of all, it's more reliable apparently, and it's also very cheap to just import from Japan. That's why the government is trying to import some kind of import tax on these vehicles. And apparently it's up to the extent that some Russian people like to pull apart the car into different parts and they import it to Russia, and after they assemble the car again inside within the country. That way it's still cheaper.
Buffet style, Russian style of contained food, and everything you need to do is to take this plate and put food, like choose the food what you want to eat.
Wow, it's like a IKEA Russian version, and you can see like people are wearing the traditional clothes. What are these clothes called?
Russian. It's like a school uniform, Soviet style school uniform.
Oh, only for canteen workers, yeah?
Before for school, now only for canteen workers.
Interesting. Need to be super fast.
Super fast.
Okay, we've got some salad options
soup?
here. Soup option.
They have the little cutlets.
Bosch. So Bosch is the famous red soup using beetroot to cook.
Do you want to give sour cream?
Yes, please. Da. Hachu. And you put a dose of sour cream on top of the borscht to serve it with. And then on to the next table, we've got some, looks like complimentary dishes. Mashed potato, that's buckwheat.
Можно, пожалуйста, пюре с котлеткой? Все, пюре и котлетка. Do you want some veggie?
Yes, I'll love some broccoli.
Можно, пожалуйста, брокколи?
Broccoli is Russian?
Yeah.
What? Oh.
They also have crepes. This is the most like typical Russian food here that we cook at home.
We're in a hurry, so I can't film that much.
Yeah,
just
I know.
because everyone is waiting in line, so we don't want to hold up the line.
Okay, I think this is enough for me for breakfast.
Lunch. It's 12 o'clock now.
Yeah. This is plov, cutlets, some different type of cutlets. We love cutlets in Russia. And sausage.
So plov, if you guys are new to this Soviet culture, it's very popular rice dish here in this region. And cutlets are commonly served with those as well.
And also, of course, we love bakery. For us, bread is like many different type of bread. For example, this one we call pyroshki. It means the bread, and inside you will have some, like a pie, and inside you will have some fillings. For example, can be potato, can be apple, can be cabbage, anything.
I must say, Russian bakeries, they are usually very freshly made. And you know, like how in Asian culture, the toast, the slice of bread, it's like very floppy, right? But in Russian culture, it's usually hard, like hard. If it's not hard, it's not good bread. If it's not hard as a stone, it's not good bread.
It should be hard and crispy, not just hard.
No, just hard. And
This one is a kompot, Russian favorite drink. Made from different type of fruits. Do you want kompot?
I want Mars.
No, Mars.
Mars. Even though we are on a tight line schedule, we're moving fast.
Slowly.
I'm loving this. This has more options than IKEA. A lot more options, more high-end as well. I love it.
And of course, this one, it's a famous Russian cake. It's called medovik. It's so delicious. If you come to Russia, you should try this one. I want to now, but already so many food.
I think Alina is more dishes than me.
It's yours.
Ah, right. Alright, so this is what a traditional Russian meal looks like. We've got borscht, which is the red soup, boiled by beetroot, plus a lot of other ingredients like
cabbage, potato, onion.
And you know, Alina always cook borscht for me at home, so I'm very used to this taste. So let's see if it's tastier or Alina's borscht is tastier.
Of course, mine tastier.
Of course, yours tastier. Why am I even talking?
Exactly.
And then there is the cutlet, which is basically kind of like a patty. Inside, they usually mix with bread, I think, to make it more filling. And there is buckwheat.
Wait. Yes, inside we mix with little bit bread to cutlet become softer.
And buckwheat is basically, in my opinion, it's kind of like the Soviet style of rice.
Yes, it's kind of, but buckwheat is actually less calorie and it's super light when you eat. Because rice is usually super filling, but buckwheat is lighter.
Rice, look.
Oh, kilo?
And then, what is this?
It's a cucumber. Oh. She said it's come with borscht together.
Okay.
So this is traditional, typical Russian meal. Almost like every week we're eating like this.
This right here looks simple, but it's one of my favorite meals in Russia. Oh yeah.
That looks good.
Looks juicy.
Yeah. Ooh.
Just delicious.
Wow.
So delicious.
Borscht, try borscht, try borscht, try borscht. Usually we always put inside borscht sour cream because it makes borscht more flavorful and tasty.
I'll mix it so you can see how it is. It makes it soup creamier, and I guess also adds that sour taste into it, so it balances out with the sweetness from the beetroot.
Good?
Alina's one is tastier. So this tasty too.
Oh yeah. Okay, I want to try to. I usually take. Oh, I just realized you took buckwheat. I took mashed potato. Mashed potato is my favorite. So good. Wow, this is my childhood taste.
If there is one place on earth that specializes in mashed potato, it will be Russia.
Yes, yes. Oh my
People
God,
cannot live without potato.
Wow. Yes, this is perfect. It's like super original taste, like how it should be.
So you still think yours is better, or this is better?
I think this is better. But mine is good too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Whatever she says. Oh, so heavy. Russian doors are always so heavy. I think it's to block out the cold wind in winter. That's why they build a door that's that thick.
Also because it's an old door, old style door. Because
Apparently-
this cafe already 100 years here.
Tell me, how much was it?
So now for two people, we just spent $10.
$10?
Just $10.
For two people?
Yes.
This is how cheap traveling in Russia it's like.
Why you dirt here?
Pimple.
No, it's not pimple, it's borscht.
Really? Wait, why is it wet now?
Because my saliva.
We are now at the seaside of Vladivostok, and you can see people dipping their feet into the water for
Yeah.
refreshing.
And on that
Dip.
side, people actually swimming.
Oh, so it's like a beach area here actually. Yesterday when we were on the express train to the Vladivostok city, we actually saw a lot of people were swimming along the coastline as well. And I think Russian summer is usually something that Russian people appreciate a lot just because their winters are usually very harsh.
Because we have summer only 3 months, it's June, July, and August. That's why people want to like spend all the time with hot weather, go to swim, because after that 9 months will be so depressing. And water here will be cold, just because in Russia never like 35, 40 degrees, so ocean can't be that warm enough, but people anyway, they don't care, they just want to swim.
I think after living in Asia for so long, I really appreciate this kind of summer where it's like 25, 26 degrees. It's really nice.
А теперь для папы силу показали. Вот так будете делать. Нас в 90-х боялись. Кто? Дагестанцы и чеченцы нас боялись. Мы полуплечо ПД.
我照哪个里，要我照哪个里。
就照相馆照相片就行，一个相机一照就完事儿。
哎呀妈！
Just now we saw There's this tourist, you know, the guy who took photo with Alina just now.
I thought they just normal tourists. They want to take photo with some Russian girl. I'm like, I'm okay. But just now they come to these two girls and they even hug them. And after that, he did invite to his friends and
To take turns to
and when
hug
the
them.
friends they sit nearby these girls, he just took his hand and like hug them, like so rude. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
Yeah.
And they just kind of invaded their space as well. They didn't even ask, they just sit in between the two girls.
And after that, they give them like a $2, like a tips for, oh, thank you to taking photo for us.
And the girl looks so uncomfortable.
Girls say like, oh, no need, like no need.
Yeah.
I know in China, because we've been in China in the last few episodes, it's not like this. I think just these two people or like these few people, they are from villages. I feel like it because they behave a little bit different compared to like modern big city in China.
Vladivostok is actually a very international city just because there are lots of Asian stuff.
Because Vladivostok is close by to Korea, Japan, China, and that's why here have a lot of like, for example, this is cosmetic from Thailand, Japan, and Korea, and nearby here is a Chinese restaurant or maybe Chinese like tea place. This is, I think, the one city, Vladivostok, and the next city where we're gonna go next, Khabarovsk. It's a two city where it's mostly things from China and Asia.
Because now we're actually in Eastern Russia. Later on when we go to European Russia, it's going to be less of these Asian things.
They even have Miniso. This
That's
is my
insane.
favorite market in China. Oh, I love it. You'll never find this in my city.
We came across this chocolate place. Apparently they sell some really interesting and weird chocolate inside this place. So we're gonna go and check it out. And if you guys don't know Russian chocolate, it's something that is really specialized here in Russia.
Yes, it's another level. And
Alina is actually a chocolate alert.
yes, I love it. And this one is so famous Russian chocolate. It's called Ptichye Moloko, and they have different tastes. This is famous in this city. I think it's nearby here. They made it like a factory. The smells here, it's like a chocolate smell, so strong. Wow, they have many different type of chocolate.
Alina is a chocolate alert. When she eats real chocolate, then she sneezes. Always like this.
Yes, but it should be real chocolate, like 90% of dark chocolate.
Oh, it smells so good in here. This is what I'm talking about. They've got many different flavors. Okay, I'm gonna need you to translate for me.
Okay.
What is this?
So
Coconut?
this one is, yes, coconut. This is peanut. This is this berry and almond. This is honey plus ginger.
Oh, ginger chocolate.
Yeah, ginger
Oh my
plus
god.
honey.
This-
Don't know, something sour.
Oh my.
This is with chili and almond and
Crazy.
salt. Oh, this is with flour.
Lavender, is it?
No, it's a fialka, Russian flour. This is dark chocolate also.
This looks tasty.
Pink salt and some berry. Dark chocolate. Let's see what's the most strange chocolate here.
That's orange chocolate.
I think this one. This is with seaweed chocolate.
I actually saw there's another version. I saw on the internet they have got one flavor that is scallop flavored chocolate.
Oh, this one.
There you go. I want to try this one.
It's $3, $4.
So like rubles, usually it's 1 to 100.
Oh, this is sea urchin.
Sea urchin chocolate.
Sea urchin chocolate.
Which
never
one do you want to
tried
try?
this I want to try both.
Oh, they've got many candies here as well. Is it candy or chocolate? These are chocolate?
Candy chocolate.
Wow. This looks really old Soviet style chocolate.
It is. А что такое ламинария? Капуста. Хорошо, давайте. И морской гребешок. И вот маленькую вот эту вот морская капуста.
So we end up deciding to get the sea urchin one, the scallop one, and we've got a small pack of the seaweed one as well. It's gonna be some really weird chocolate we're trying today. Our next stop today, before we try the chocolate, we actually need to buy something from a supermarket, and a very popular franchise here in Russia, it's called
Пятерочка.
5. It means 5. I don't know if they allow us to film inside, so I'm gonna film really in a discretion. So yeah, I'm gonna show you some Russian products.
It's not common, but here they have even onigiri. This city is super like
International, yeah?
Yeah.
I think lots of Korean and Japanese snacks like onigiri, and then these are like typical Russian dishes. You see the buckwheat that we had this morning.
cutlet.
And a cutlet, and they've got the...
Plov.
Yeah, the plov. And then over here, they've got milkies. It's like a Korean drink, right?
Yeah, and Russian people love drink this milkies. When I was young, I always drink this. So
Really?
it's like so old already.
Oh, okay. And the Coca-Cola looks so different. How come? Over here, in every supermarket, they have got a whole bakery section because Russians are obsessed with bakery. And they've got a lot of really interesting ones.
This is so delicious. It's you know the kind of dough that is so crunchy and
It's like a croissant kind of thing?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, just a lot of
Something with
bakery
jam
croissants.
inside, croissant. And one thing I love in Russia, because in Asia it's not that common, but in Russia it's a chocolate. See, a lot of different type of chocolate. This is special called Russia chocolate. It's dark and it's so tasty.
Ooh, I tried these ones last time when I was in Russia. These are really delicious. I remember this brand.
And one thing I can't live without this. I don't know how I survive in Asia without this one small thing.
You can survive.
I cannot. I cannot. This, I love it. It's called сырочек. It's kind of dessert with inside little cheese. It's cold and it's keep always in the fridge, and it's so tasty.
Just imagine this as a cheesecake in a chocolate bar. This is how I can describe it best.
We'll get this too. Yeah, Russian people, they love like cheese. This kind of cottage cheese. It's everywhere. This one's сырочек too.
So I've got sirocek. In Russia, they are famous for the dairy products. For example, they have got tons of yogurt options, like really good quality ones. They've got some crispy stuff like a cereal inside, and then next to it, there's the fresh yogurt. But this one right here is our personal favorite one because this right here is kind of like strawberry jam, and on top, that's a white layer of yogurt, and it mixed together is so delicious. So unfortunately, if you're lactose intolerant, very sorry for you in Russia. Oh, and this one. This is something that is shocking for me. It's just a bunch of cheese. And when I was living in Alina's home last time, her mother just put jam inside a bunch of cheese and make it mix like this. Just like straight up eating cheese.
This is not really cheese. They call it tvorog. I don't know how to describe it. Cottage
not cheese?
Cottage cheese.
Yeah, so it's just like jam mixing cheese and that's their breakfast. I can't imagine
We have
this.
different type. It's so healthy actually, this kind of stuff. And this around like 146, so like 100 Russian rubles, it's around $1. So you can say $1.50.
I cannot just eat cheese for breakfast. I can eat macaroni for breakfast, but I cannot eat cheese like this. And of course, they've got some really fresh milk products as well. One carton like this is like $1, is it? Divided by 100, right?
Yeah, around $1 and $2.
Yep, so the milk products are very affordable as well. And one of the products that apparently Russians cannot live without is sour cream because most of the salad is with sour cream. They don't use mayonnaise. They use Olivier. Put in Olivier, they put sour cream.
Yeah, this one, because mayonnaise is a bit non-healthy and Russians love to be healthy. That's why we're using this sour cream.
Oh yeah, so Alina, every time when I go to Asian countries, she looks for sour cream right away.
Yes.
But you can never find sour cream in
It's so
Asia.
expensive in Asia. But Russia, just $1.50, $1.
I want to find ham. Oh, this, I feel like I'm a guide in Russian supermarket now. It's just because I get very excited about this, you know. It's a special cheese in Russia. It's kind of like, what do you call it? Braids, you know? Braids.
Yeah, Braids cheese.
Braids cheese.
This, because it looks like bread and it's a little bit salty, but it's so tasty and good, well come with beer.
They use this.
Salted salmon.
Yep, so they use salted salmon.
With salted salmon, but tastes different. And also we have a caviar.
Caviar for how much?
$1.
What? Is it different kind of caviar?
Yes, some other fishes caviar.
Apart from the smoked salmon caviar you talked about just then, we also got a whole big fish like that, all salted.
Yes, of course, we love eating ham. In Russia, we have different taste of ham. We have like these ones and these ones, and we always just take a bread, put on bread ham, and eat like a sandwich. Also, we like eating sprots. It's inside like a fish, salted fish, in the oil and inside a can. So this can keep for super long time. When it was war before, people used to eat this. So that's why we still like have like this habit to put just like a bread on top of the butter and on top of this fish, and it's so tasty. The bread in Russia, it should be like this. It's like a
brick.
Like a brick, and it should be hard like a brick, because in Asia, when I touch the bread, I can show you, this is Asian bread. I don't like it at all, because every single piece, it's super soft, and it feels like not real, which is Russian bread. It should be like this. strong, like a brick.
Strong.
See,
Strong.
I cannot,
Strong.
see, I cannot even press it. It's so strong.
This makes me wonder how you eat it.
It's so tasty.
And speaking of the frozen cone, if you're ever in Russia, very likely you're gonna try the Russian style of dumplings, which is pelmeni, which is usually frozen like this. A lot of like Russian grandmas, aka babushkas, they like to make this at home. And at last, whenever you're in a Russian supermarket, you only see packaged ice cream like this. You know, in Asia, usually they display the cone, right? See, this is like ice cream cone in a package. I think this is what it's equivalent to. Usually you see a tub of ice cream, but instead they put it in a plastic package here in Russia. All right, Silochik, I'm gonna show you what it looks like.
Outside, it's a thin layer of cold chocolate, and inside, the layer of cheese.
So it's like a cheesecake in a chocolate bar, basically.
Just now I pay for this for one around $1. Usually it's like $0.5.
$1? So expensive. Oh my god. I want to quickly show you guys some English letters that is being used in Russian as well. For example, this H, N, actually N in English. And for example, like this one, this is a new letter.
Yeah, it's P.
It's P in English. And this one, it's actually not P, but it's R. It's the R in Russian. So you know, you can see they actually share some of the Latin letters as well, but they also add some new letters like these ones. This is actually V, not B.
Yeah.
V.
V. Justin already know whole Russian alphabet.
Okay, I'll try. This is V, Vlo, L, Vla, D, Vladivostok.
Yes, good.
Vladivostok.
Yes. They say it's a train station of Vladivostok.
Yes, I spent 2 months every day studying Russian.
You didn't.
I did. Da.
Нет.
Da, Bali. You know how typically in Asia, right, when you cross to the other side of the road, when there are lots of cars on the highway, you usually have overhead bridges, right? But here in Russia, the most common way of crossing is actually these underground underpass. And in these underpasses, usually there are a lot of shops. Let's have a look at some of them. For example, this one right here looks like to be a fashion shop for maybe babushka style, so like old grandma style. And this like a vape place.
This is vape place. You can buy some cigarettes or like the liquid for vape. Sunglasses.
This one is sunglasses for. This one is some old style shoes.
This is shop. It's already like long time ago here. When I was young, it's so common to buy something here because it's cheap, but now I think it's a bit already old. So that's why you can see now half of these shops, they already closed completely because it's old.
I also want to say, here in this city, the buildings are so colorful as well. Unlike some Asian countries, usually it's like, you know, predominantly black, white, gray. Whereas here in Europe, style buildings, they're all very colorful. Pink, there is like mint color. I saw another one, there is like a bluish color. I love it.
Well, because of sanction, usually our McDonald's and some other brands like Starbucks, it's already left Russia, but KFC is still here.
I think we will show you guys McDonald menu later. Oh, they don't call it McDonald now. They call it Fukusno Itochika. I think we're gonna walk past one later, so we'll show you. So as we were saying just then, because Russia is being sanctioned, so there are many international shops that has left Russia in the past 2 years, I think. And this includes McDonald's, which they actually rebranded here in Russia. It's called Fukusno Itochika. Basically, it means delicious and dot. You know what I realized that dots means? I think it's kind of like in English, it's like full stop. The end of the sentence. It's delicious. The end. Like this. So we're gonna check out the menu to see how different it is compared to normal McDonald's. Let's have a look at the menu, I guess. There's English version as well.
Wow, this has
so many languages.
Chinese, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan.
Yep, all the stands around Russia. And this is, let me choose English, and we're gonna just dine in. So based on the menu, I think you can notice that more or less it's very similar to McDonald's. You see they've got a double patty, they've got some chicken nuggets over there. But one thing that I think is a highlight of the whole menu is the dessert section, where they actually have the different pies, like cherry pies, raspberry. It's like a McCafe, you know. Where's my favorite dessert? They have these chocolate and strawberry ice cream. Basically, it's Oreo mixed strawberry jam, and this is so delicious.
Yes, this is so delicious. This is my favorite. Also, they have a caramel ice and chocolate, and also just normal chocolate. McFlurry. Oh, they have papaya and mango ice deluxe.
That looks interesting.
Also, they have mozzarella cheese rings.
They got shrimps as well.
Oh, wow.
Maybe it's a Vladivostok special.
Why we come here is to eat Russian ice cream with McFlurry with strawberry. It's so different compared to another country. It's real strawberry inside.
My money.
Ah, I forget that. Now I need to pay.
Which one? This one?
With bears.
How Russian?
Yes.
149 divided by 100, so that's around $1.50.
Yeah, and you can see Russia banned MasterCard and Visa. That's why I have this one, Mir. It's got a world card. Well, in another country, like world card. What does it mean, world card?
I guess you can select McDonald here.
It is McDonald's. They just changed the name. That's it.
That's a long name. McDonald's or Mac's in Australia to
Вкусно means delicious. Точка means dot. Вкусно dot.
delicious.
Okay, our McFlurry is here. Wow, look at this. Wow.
Delicious.
The reason why I like this McFlurry is because inside have real strawberry. Oh, this one. Ooh, love it. Wow, best McFlurry ever.
Guys, we took some rest at the hostel just now and we are back on the street, and now it's golden hours and this street just looks so beautiful.
So beautiful.
We're actually back to the street that we started this vlog at this morning, and apparently this place, actually Alina's friend just then pinged us and said this is one of the best ramen places in town. So we're gonna check it out to see if we actually can match the ones in Japan.
I have high expectation because their review is so good, and you know Russian people are so picky, so if they say delicious means delicious.
This is what I'm concerned about. Russian people say it's delicious. Means it's tailored to Russian tastes. So let's see if it's...
But you like Russian taste. Japanese life.
It's a struggle at this restaurant is that they don't have any English. They only have Chinese and they have Russian. I guess English is not the predominant language in Vladivostok. That's why they don't have English on there.
So pressure.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I need to order faster.
Yeah, it's true. Russian people, when they order, they don't have face. They don't have any emotional expression. So sometimes it kind of feels intimidating. You step on me.
When you put it like here, give me space.
My problem. Just now, ordering, it's my first time ever seeing menu, no English, but I have other languages like Chinese, I think there's Korean as well.
And also just now I feel so pressure, and I asked her like what kind of ramen is the best. She said all of them tasty.
I could see, she said everything. Let me show the Slavic face. Usually in Asia, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, try to remind my boyfriend to be a Slavic.
I think something that I noticed in the past few restaurants that we go to is that Russian people, they don't like to go to restaurants that are overcrowded. So that's why each cafe, usually you can just have your own little private space and you don't feel like there are a lot of people around as well. Whereas compared to Asia, you gotta line up for your food, man. If it's good food, you can see a huge line up for 2 hours, then that's good restaurant.
Impossible. Russian people, they will never line up. Never. If they see big line, they will just like, okay, I'll go to another restaurant then. Never.
It's gonna drive Alina crazy when we go to Japan.
Next after Russia, we're gonna go to Japan. Let's try this. This is the best Russian ramen in Vladivostok.
Okay, first observation, the meat is very generous. Big chunk of meat.
Soup okay. Meat so delicious. Noodle good.
I might sound very harsh on this, but the soup is very so-so. The noodle, I guess it depends on your preference. This one is a bit softer than my liking, I think. The meat really does it.
Sometimes when it's like this super dirty car, we actually saying like, no, we don't saying, we're writing on the car, wash me. So later when owner will come like, oh. Sunset time, my app saying, oh no, it's actually 8:53.
Sunset time is 8:53.
Yeah.
That's
now,
so late.
So now it's for 8:43.
Sunset at 8:53. What the heck?
Yeah, in Russia, summer it's like always bright. You wake up, it's bright, and you go sleep, it's like it's bright too. But in the winter, it's so different because in the winter you wake up, it's dark, and after that 3 p.m. is dark already.
Yeah, I remember winter time in Russia is the most depressing time. Literally, you wake up, 5 minutes later, it becomes dark again.
Yeah, that's why Russians they love summer. I love summer.
And now we're gonna go into a shopping mall to explore what shopping mall it's like in Russia. So I was told this is not the most modern one. The most modern ones are usually in Moscow. So this is the one in Vladivostok that we're gonna check out. What are they doing? Stand in the middle.
Waiting bus?
Why in the middle of the road?
No.
Oh, so strange. Well, they just land in the middle of the road.
First time seeing like this.
In your city normally? Yeah, usually you just like stand near the curb and you just wait in line, right? But it looks like people here in Vladivostok, they wait in the middle. Kind of dangerous, no?
Here we need to go because Justin need to buy cream from
Okay.
brand L'Oreal. And L'Oreal, it's a brand in Russia that is cost super cheap. Last time Justin bought in Australia and I think it's pricey. So we'll try to find here. Don't have this brand. I think like this brand is leave Russia because of sanctions.
So I quickly checked just then. Apparently L'Oreal actually closed all their stores but remain production, but very limited capacity. So that's why these stores, they don't have it anymore.
So sad though. Should we buy another cream for you?
What to do? It is what it is. We actually found it. It's stashed in a secret corner
Здесь
right
даже
there.
написано, то, что новая формула, а здесь просто новая упаковка. Но это, как я понимаю, один и тот же.
Одинаково. Ага.
Да.
Давайте за побольше.
Давайте.
Apparently the bigger one is actually cheaper than the smaller one.
Yeah, the price, this is 1000 rubles, this is 600 rubles. But this is bigger. Should we get two?
Yeah, we
Просто в
should.
коробочке.
Давайте две сразу тогда.
Хорошо.
It's so funny how the staff didn't even know they exist. Maybe it's like stop production. No one ever bought them
Yeah,
anymore.
she's like, no, we don't have this brand. No, we don't have. And after that, Justin walking like, oh, this is this brand. And she's like, oh, really? and after we took this one box because this box is only one. And I'm like, and Justin looking at this, but this is same but bigger. And we're like, okay, so should we get this one? And this is actually cheaper. It's just like $6, and that one $10.
It's so funny. The staff are like, oh yeah, it's cheaper. You should get this one instead.
She's new.
Yeah,
Just
so
few days
funny.
working.
Yeah. This is when you know she's a good worker.
Yes. Remember your mother last time in Australia? She bought for like $30, $50 this one.
Yeah.
The small one. This is now you have 4.
Oh, so this is for marshrutka. It's marshrutka, if you guys don't know, it is the minibus version in Russia where everyone's packed, jam-packed in this small minibus right here.
People they're still staying
It's
in
so
the line.
strange, you're waiting in line like this. So a bit more information about marshrutkas. They're kind of like an old Soviet-style minivan for public transportation where they take up to maybe around 30 people on a minivan. Basically, you just squeeze everyone together, get into the minivan, and that's what marshrutka is.
Okay, so now on the way, let's try our chocolate that we buy today. Which taste do you want to try the most? We
Scallop.
have sea urchin,
Scallop.
scallop,
Scallop.
or seaweed.
Or scallop.
Understand.
Multiple choice.
Let me tell people what do we have.
Okay.
I move my fingers.
I'll wait for you. It just tastes like really good chocolate. I don't taste a scallop in
It
it at
tastes.
all. Huh?
Taste the salty. No?
I don't taste scallop at all.
Try this one. Salty part tastes like a scallop. It's like a sweet, salty chocolate. Interesting. I thought it would be worse.
It's delicious.
Yes.
I don't taste scallop at all.
But good chocolate, no?
But it's really good chocolate. But you don't have cheese, means it's not real.
Yes.
If you sneeze, it means it's real.
It's mixed. Okay, this one.
It's a sea urchin flavor.
Sea urchin flavor plus some
Seaweed.
Seaweed. I hope it won't be same taste.
It's just really good milk chocolate, that's it. This is marketing, I think. It's marketing. My expectation of sea urchin chocolate is that it's gonna have that fishy smell, you know? Really strong fishy
Then
sea
no
urchin
one
smell.
gonna eat this because
That's the whole point, it's sweet chocolate.
this is just seaweed chocolate. The small package.
My expectation of seaweed should be salty.
You can say all three chocolates taste completely different, but it's
Yep.
tasty.
This one I taste a little bit different. This one has this, I don't know how to describe it. It's just this taste that I can't describe. I can't relate to any food, but it's definitely not seaweed. It's tasty chocolate. I approve. So because now it's late already and everything is kind of closed at around 9 p.m. So it's pretty early. So we're gonna go home now and we're gonna get some rest. And then tomorrow we'll be actually exploring the nature side of Vladivostok. And tomorrow is gonna be one hell of an adventure. So we'll see you tomorrow. Today we've got a big adventure ahead. We're actually going to a cafe nearby that is very popular apparently. And then after that, today, instead of going to Ruski Island, we are going to go to the Lighthouse, which is also very popular here in Vladivostok. I just want to say that Vladivostok in the morning, it is so peaceful, and also the weather, it's perfect. Like perfect.
Yeah, so nice. So
There's a bit
cool.
of breeze, it's not too hot. And I like how cars here, they're usually very nice in general. They don't really horn that much.
Just now we're walking past so many pigeons and Justin said something so funny. Say again.
No wonder why Russian people find eating pigeons shocking. Like Chinese people will be like, food, that's food.
That's why last time when in Hong Kong, they bring us pigeon like a dish. I was shocking, really shocking.
Those are farmed pigeons though, not like street pigeons.
Because we have pigeons in Russia everywhere, almost everywhere. That's for me, it's like a street bird. Someone eating, someone treat like a pet.
So today we're starting our vlog here at this cafe. It's called 5 o'clock. And this is the interior of the cafe. It's not a particular big space, but just like a mini space for a chill cup of coffee and breakfast. You know what I realized? This is a British cafe.
Oh, really?
That's Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, so
this is
British vibe. And I think this is British breakfast.
Yeah, classic British breakfast, I guess. With a big bit of Russian twist. Alright, so we've got this is called a cheese niki. Basically, it's like
It's a pan-fried cottage cheese.
I just want to say, Russian people, they eat so tiny. Breakfast, this is their breakfast. Just like 2 mini pancake kind of thing.
Yeah, there's already 2 portions here. And also we're still waiting another English breakfast.
I feel like we're in this very vintage styled restaurant, eating some authentic Russian food.
And just in English breakfast already here. So this is some bread.
It's like
Egg?
a muffin, bacon, egg, and sausage. Looks good. Yeah, everything is so tiny portion though.
Yeah.
I think for Asian people, when they come here, they will get hungry after breakfast. So I think a second meal, which the cafeteria, in my opinion, is better value because you can eat more. You can see it's like a layer of cheese. Like that. So it's really like fried cheese.
Yes.
There's nothing else.
Yes.
Wow. Delicious. It's like a fried cheesecake. Very tasty.
And now we're gonna catch a bus to go to Tokarevsky Lighthouse in Vladivostok.
Yep, whatever she says, the lighthouse. So we actually end up deciding taking a taxi instead, and just like other countries, Russia also has their own Uber app basically. It's called Yandex.
It's on Yandex Go. So now we took a taxi for $3 to go to that lighthouse.
Hey guys, we've made it to the place, and as soon as we got off, we saw people swimming here. See, it's like a beach area, not so much beach, but it's like a rocky area, but people just swimming, swimming in the ocean. And of course, there are people sunbathing as well. Ooh, it's ice cold.
Ice cold.
Yeah, so nice, so
Russian
refreshing.
people can even swim in a -30, so I think for them this is like super nice and warm water.
Yeah, last time when it was like -30, we saw someone swimming outside in the ocean. It's crazy. But I can imagine it's such a nice dip in a weather like this. I think Russian summer, it's the kind of place that is ideal temperature, ideal for swimming as well. Didn't expect Vladivostok would have this side of nature scenery. So pretty. What's going on here? Looks like they're selling some kind of things, yeah?
Yeah, they're selling a fish
Oh,
that
wow.
they just now maybe get inside it.
Wow, must be like fresh caught of the day.
This is a Russian fishers. Yeah, they're selling a flounder fish.
Flounder fish.
Yeah, it's a popular fish in Russia.
Is it?
Yeah,
I've never seen that fish before.
kambala.
Flat fish that looks like a stingray. More information about this lighthouse. It is situated at the Tokarevsky Spit, which is a nickname called the end of the world because it is where the mainland ends and meets the Pacific Ocean. The lighthouse actually feels much tinier in person than in the videos because it is on the far end of the sand spit, and there's a section where you have to cross over on water during high tide. But the lighthouse is sitting on a man-made foundation. This place was so peaceful, far from the city noise of Vladivostok and surrounded by the calming sound of gentle waves. The water was crystal clear, and honestly, if we had brought our swimsuit, we would probably have jumped in right away. Then we came across this old abandoned fishing boat that brought out the kid in us, climbing up and down like it was an obstacle course. We even had a stone skipping competition between the two of us, seeing who could get the most bounces. The place was covered in dandelions everywhere. They were super fluffy and fun to touch, and of course it's tradition to make a wish, right? And this place, I think, apart from being a tourist attraction as well, many of the locals actually like to come here, even though there's no sand, but they like to lie down along the coastline and just enjoy good sunbathing. Asians hate sun, Russians love sun.
Russians love sun.
They love
Because
sun.
only 3 months in a year. Imagine how they miss sun.
Fair enough. By the time we wrapped up exploring, we were super hungry, so we headed out to try the best thing you can eat in Vladivostok, the famous Kamchatka Crab. If there is one thing that you cannot miss here in Vladivostok, it's of course the famous Kamchatka Crab from Kamchatka, which is imported all the way to here. And a lot of the restaurants here in Vladivostok actually serve these king crabs, and it's famous across Asia as well. Many tourists actually came all the way from Asia to Russia just to try this crab. And near the lighthouse, there's actually a restaurant called Octopus Cafe, and we're gonna have the king crab here. Apparently the reviews are good. Oh my goodness, look at these gigantic spider crabs. They are huge. Arm size, look at that. Oh, we're gonna have a good feast today. Now this is the kind of menu that I want to order everything. They've got scallops and they have oyster, which is around $2 per piece. And they've got king crab for around $26-ish for 1 kg.
1 kg crab.
And on the other page, they've actually got more exotic seafood as well, like mussels and this one, the fluffy thing.
Looks ugly.
It's like a slug, I think.
Oh my god. We spent just now like $40-50. I'm gonna cry.
It's worth it. So basically just then we decided to order only the crab, and apparently the minimum is 1.5 kilograms and it's 2,500 rubles for 1 kilogram, so it's around like $40-ish. You can imagine for 1.5 kilogram. And apparently the oysters are out of stock, so that's out of the option. So that's why we only ordered the crab and some lemonade.
It's our budget for like 3 days in Russia
It's okay.
for food.
It's okay. There will be times when we're on the train for 2 days.
Cup noodle.
I feel so nervous just because we ordered 1.5 kilogram crab, and I hope it is tasty. 1.5 kilogram is pretty heavy. I must say, it's probably the whole size of the crab that we saw just now, the spider crab, so we can finish it, that's for one. And secondly, I hope it's tasty. It's either going to be the highlight or the low light of this video, I think. Oh wow, that's huge.
Пожалуйста.
Спасибо.
Спасибо.
Знаете, да, как его чистить?
Да.
Все отлично.
That looks beautiful. I don't even want to eat it now. It looks so beautiful.
Wow, yeah, looks so beautiful. Do you know how to clean? She asked, do you know how to clean?
I grew in Hong Kong, we eat a lot of seafood, and crab is one of them. But this is the biggest crab I've ever seen.
I don't know, Justin always clean for me.
Yes, 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 yes.
So after 7 days, we with Justin have our university 2 years together. So that's why we decide that this will be like a half of our celebration today. So happy 2 years together.
This is our unofficial celebration.
Official celebration will be in another city called Ulan-Ude. It's a what?
Ulan-Ude, which is near Mongolia.
I'm Russian. I should know that, no?
Yes.
Okay, my
There we are. So you're gonna start from the legs
cutting. Do you need gloves? Okay. Ooh, wow.
because it's very sharp actually. So I'm not gonna cut
So
the
usually
joints.
Justin said the meat inside crab it's mostly on inside legs, not inside body. So I don't know why we ordered with body. He just ordered legs, no? But the body looks so pretty. He looks so sharp.
Wow, looks so fresh.
Justin will try first.
Oh my goodness, so creamy. It's so creamy inside, see? Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so tasty.
Really?
It's so tasty.
How tasty?
It's the tastiest crab I've ever had in my life.
Really?
It's so creamy. It's like, oh my goodness, it just melts in your mouth. It's so flavorful, so fresh. I'm so emotional.
Yes. Guys, if Justin's saying it's tasty, trust him, it's really tasty. I can see through his face. Enjoying his life. Ooh, wow, this is so red crab. First time seeing like this red. Wow. Wow, so sweet. It's a natural taste of this crab. It's so sweet and so creamy. I think this is the tastiest crab in my life I tried to. Before never like this. Before super dry.
Yeah.
Wow.
How is it?
It's like crab without nothing, no seasoning, no sauce. Have original super tasty, sweet taste. Wow. Kamchatka Crab. Don't disappoint us.
It is worth every dollar, every cent, every minute of breathing in here. This restaurant is so delicious. Oh my goodness. Take my soul, take my money. Here's so good service. There's someone cut crab for you.
Yes, I love this service.
Here you go.
I don't think I will go to a restaurant without you.
I think for those of you who don't know how to eat crab, I think my father teach me this, is that you cut on both sides so you can open up the whole crab legs. Like for example, along the edge, you just cut like that. This one will be a bit harder. This is no doubt the tastiest crab I've ever had in my life. This comes a lot. This says a lot because I come from Hong Kong and having seafood all the time accessible to me, this is the best out of all in my travels.
I come from Russia, so that's why I'm not used to eat seafood because my province is in the other side of Russia where we don't have seafood at all. So that's why for me, this is something new, but it's so delicious, really. I love seafood after Asia. I already told in some video that I started eating seafood only when I was 19, which is like 5-6 years ago. Now I love it.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's huge.
Show me this hand. I like this hand, how it looks like. Another side.
This side?
Yeah. Wow. I really like it.
Why? You wanna keep it for souvenir?
Yes.